1.
Greetings and salutations. I have not made a video in quite some time. I have not even looked at my YouTube channel in quite some time. I have been around. I just haven't been focusing on this particular YouTube channel. I am going to put out a few more videos today, tomorrow, the next day. I don't know. But I've been extremely busy. And the funny thing about it is I have more freedom than I've ever had in my life. I have total freedom. But with my freedom has come a much more diversity in the things that I do. I've been doing a lot of traveling. I'm involved in more entrepreneurship, things like that. The freedom that I have, more so than I've ever had before, allows me to pretty much do what I want to do. And what I want to do involves me doing quite a bit other than dealing with my YouTube channel. Let's just put it like that. And I've been involved in quite a few things, which I'm going to be talking about as well. Now, you might be wondering, why am I starting this video showing a man or a male with his ass hanging out? Because that's one of the things that inspired me to make the video you're watching. My challenge here is to keep this brief, about 10 minutes. That's going to be hard. I wanted to talk about a broader topic, but I decided I would just make shorter videos, 10 to 15 minutes each, dealing with the issues. And the issues had to do with manhood and parenting. This first clip here, it says, men don't show their ass. And ladies won't deal with it. Now, you might wonder why I would focus on that, because this video is really about fatherhood, and it's about parenting, and it's about men being men and raising their children. Probably it's because my dad really, really feels very strongly about this. And maybe that's one of the reasons I do. Maybe it's just the way I was raised. And it's just appalling. I don't have any daughters, but if I did, I don't think it's possible they would ever bring home a guy who walks around with his ass hanging out. Because I think she would have more self-respect than that. Out of all the things that people do or ever done my entire life, this is one of the most abhorrent, disgusting, unbelievably ignorant things. This trend of guys walking around showing their dirty, nasty asses says a lot about you. It says more than what you think. And you women that deal with that, you walk around, some of you look like respectable ladies, but you walk around with a guy with his ass out, that says a lot about you. You've been misjudged. You can try to justify it all you want to, but it is disgusting. Let's get past that. I can't even stand to look at something like that. We're going to talk about some of the attributes of a man, some of the attributes of a father. And first of all, I want to say to all of you males, if you have any children and you do not raise them, how do you call yourself a man? That is your duty and your responsibility, not only to raise them, and raising means more than just you giving some money to the baby's mother, or even just you being in the same house the kids are in. It means you being the most influential character in that child's life, particularly your boys. And I want to focus more on boys, because there are too many boys out here who have not been properly shown how to be a man. And they're supposed to learn that at home. They're supposed to learn it from their father, whether he lives in the same house with them or not. You're supposed to be so involved in your child's life that you are the quintessential example of what a man is, because a boy truly does not know. He just knows that these things that are called men are bigger than they are older than they are stronger than they are, but they're not quite sure what the attributes of a man is. That's why so many of them are confused. A boy can be raised without having a father, and he still is going to follow what he believes to be the example of what a man is. Why? Because boys learn through emulation. Emulation, the same way they pretty much learn everything else. Why do you think your children speak the same language you do? They speak the same dialect. They have the same accent. It is through emulation. It is ingrained in children to emulate that which they observe, that which they see. They need to see men being men. They need to see that from their father. So many boys are exactly like their fathers, and that's the part of the problem, because their fathers are deadbeats. Their fathers are losers. Their fathers are bottom of the barrel rejects who are the scourges of society. And oftentimes the boys become the very same thing. Just knowing that that's what their father is and not having a better example to set them on the right path, they become a clone of their father in too many cases. I have known people where the entire family legacy is one of failure. The entire family legacy is one of negativity. There's no positivity anywhere to be seen. And if it is a very, very rare example. Very, very rare. Few and far between. I was talking to a young lady recently that I've known for over probably about 15 years, 18 years, however long it's been. And I asked her if there was one example, a cousin, an uncle, her father, her brothers, nephews, any example of a man that had the attributes that we had both agreed upon were the attributes of a real man or a good man. And there was not a single one. Not a single one. And that is often the way that it is. And there is a reason for that. There is a reason for that. When the example is nowhere to be seen, the example of a positive influence where a boy can see a man being a man, a real man being a real man, rather than the thuggery and foolishness that they are often surrounded by, how do you think that they are going to see themselves as being something better? They're going to see themselves as being what is around them oftentimes. You think it's a coincidence so many boys emulate their fathers, they act like their fathers, they talk like their fathers, they think like their fathers, they behave like their fathers do in so many ways? Now, that's a good thing if their father is a good man, is a decent man, is a real man. That's a good thing. But it's a bad thing if the father, or should I say the sperm donor who contributed to their existence, is a loser. That is a bad thing. So what happens? Others are supposed to set the example. Boys emulate the behavior of the men that are around them. And if they don't have a father, they often will find another male person to emulate. That's one of the reasons I started off showing, because we all can relate to the fact that it is an unfortunate trend in society in 2018 where males are walking around showing their ass. And unfortunately, even young, I was about to say young ladies, but I'm sorry, I won't use that term. I'll say young females are walking around showing their asses too. Disgusting. No self-respect. Now, I can relate to this picture. I remember my little brother, who was a few years younger than me at the time. I don't know if I ever did this or not, but I got him something for his birthday, and it included a shaving kit. I didn't know. I mean, he was only like 7 years old. There was nothing to shave. But he was so excited to be able to do. And I wasn't shaving myself. I was only in my teens myself. So I didn't shave. I didn't have anything to shave. But our dad did. And he was so happy to be able to do what you see in this mirror. To be able to make up a little soap thing and put it on his face and rub that little fake shaving blade against his skin. Boys do that. Boys do that. I am so much like my dad in so many ways. And see, my dad's a good man, so therefore I can be proud to say that. That's not something that would be an insult. Oftentimes, when mothers have a jerk, or what they think is a jerk or a loser, as a baby daddy, because he's not a husband, he's just a baby daddy, she will say to the boy in a disparaging way, "You're just like your father." Well, if you say that to me, that would be a compliment. My father is an example of what a real man should be. My son would say the same thing about his father. And I keep saying my son because I'm referring to my oldest son. I actually have 3 sons. But my oldest son has kids of his own. And he is even named, my oldest son is named after me. He named his first son after me. And if I'd have been my dad's first son, I would have been named after him. So we'd have 4 generations who all have the same name. That is the legacy. That's how proud we are of our